Hey there, I want to do a HomePod audio review wherein we're comparing it against a speaker I already had, but kind of just a speaker that's going to represent kind of your average Bluetooth speaker. What we're trying to see is if the HomePod really knocks your socks off. It's obviously a premium price product, although if you jump into full-on audiophile mode, you'll be able to spend way more money than a HomePod on audio equipment. But I think it's positioned both as a high-end premium device, but also as a device that anyone, not just a audiophile, would be interested in. So what we're doing is comparing the Apple HomePod to the UE Boom. We're going to be doing this by doing a couple of different song audio tests, and I'm just going to give you my thoughts on how everything sounds compared to each other. We're going to do the UE Boom sound first and the Apple HomePod. I want to let you know that I'm also going to be cutting out some of the audio for copyright issues, as well as to not bore you to death with me listening to music. But I'm going to listen to songs a little longer than is shown in the video, give you the thoughts, and then switch to next song. We'll try a couple different genres to kind of see how everything goes. There's no prep really for this, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so the first song that we checked out was She Taught Me How to Fly by Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. Right off the bat, as the first song that we're looking into, the Apple HomePod is clearly better in every way. It just sounds a lot clearer, a lot crisper. This song didn't have a lot of real bass forward notes, but it seemed that the sound getting pumped out of the Apple HomePod was just fuller. I'm not an expert in audio in any way, so I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the matter. Obviously, you can look up people who are experts in this field giving you the exact terminology, but I think these are words that and kind of feedback that anyone will be able to appreciate and find important. So let's jump into the next song.
That dig on me. Now I ain't saying she a gold digger. Get down, girl, go ahead, get down. Get down, girl, go ahead. Treat her bomb, let her at it.
Alright, so that next song was obviously Gold Digger by Kanye. And right off the bat, two things became very, very clear. Number one, the bass is just so much more full and rich on the Apple HomePod. It almost sounded like I wasn't listening to the same audio clip when I played it on the Apple HomePod. Just better in every single way. The other thing I noticed was even just the lyrics. Compared to the UE Boom, I've never thought had any issues with respect to sound quality. I'm listening to it right now, and I'm just shocked at how muddled it sounds by comparison. It's just not even close. So with that song, I also made sure to move up to kind of max volumes to kind of see how it was. Again, the HomePod continued to fill the room, and you could feel the bass. The UE Boom did not fill the room with bass. It kind of just got louder, but the bass didn't get stronger, which is just something that was kind of clear. So that last song was the Around the World, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger mix from Daft Punk's Alive 2007 live album. And again, sound quality is just shockingly better. Frankly, I came into this recording kind of expecting the sound quality to be better on the HomePod, but not to be so drastically better. And I've just been really shocked. Obviously, using the HomePod for the last week and a half, it's been very clear to me how good the HomePod sounds, at least I thought. And by having the two compared right next to each other, it's actually shocking, absolutely shocking, how much better the HomePod is in every way. The room at both lower volume and max volume feels like it's completely, much more full, I should say, of sound. The lyrics and the audio coming from, with respect to the vocals, significantly clearer and better. It just sounds like I'm listening to two separate tracks. And bass is heavy on the HomePod. I like it. It makes me feel the music that I'm listening to. I think it's a really solid sound, and I'm rather impressed actually at how that sounds.
A shortened work week brings a lighter economic calendar, with existing home sales on Wednesday and weekly jobless claims on. The heads of the nation's biggest banks received record compensation in 2017. The CEOs of Goldman Sachs, Citigroup.
One thing I wanted to test last, and that's why we listened to the Wall Street Journal What's News podcast, is I wanted to see really just audio by itself, as particularly audio that is designed to be incredibly high quality. You'd expect that from a podcast. And again, HomePod significantly better. And I want to say this. Obviously, the HomePod was going to have better audio than the UE Boom. The UE Boom is significantly older. There's even a UE Boom 2, so it's certainly not an apples-to-apples comparison in any way. The reason why I wanted to do this test was twofold. One, I think a lot of people already have Bluetooth speakers that are very easily represented by the UE Boom. And two, I think a lot of people are considering jumping on the Apple HomePod, and they really want to know, is this worth it? You know, is it really that much better? I can read online that it's better, but maybe everything's fine. And I recognized that those 2 points kind of merged together there, but I really wanted to see, not is the Apple HomePod better, but is it going to be a lot better than what you have now, such that it's easily noticeable? And two, is it going to be worth the significant expense, $350 US, compared to what you might spend on a kind of equivalent speaker to the UE Boom, which will be a lot less. And I think that I'll have more coverage coming for you on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/therevived1. Make sure you're subscribed for that. In terms of the HomePod review and whether it's really worth it or not, what I can say is, in terms of an audio test review, I have been completely shocked by the comparison that I'm hearing by playing two things right next to each other, back to back. In the last week plus of using the device, I've been incredibly impressed with the sound quality as well. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and go ahead and leave me a comment in the section below on if you have any specific HomePod questions. And again, make sure you check out the YouTube channel for more coverage on the Apple HomePod. Thanks for watching.